Watched a little bit of it, where you have two people and they have a table in between. The table's usually about that high, and they got these things I guess you can hold on to, and they take turns slapping each other. And I'm not just talking a little pat. I'm talking everything I got. Boom! Well, there was a guy. His whole right side of his face was all swelled up. It was like already bruising already. And it was like, oh my God. And I'm just trying to figure out why people put themselves through that, you know? It was like, wow. I mean, some people are into it. It's just not for me. I don't know, man. I don't understand it. How you can watch some man get his butt beat like that, you know? Well, it was that, and they also have females doing it too. And they have another one now. What's his name? I forget. Penguin Zoe. He's a vlogger. He's like into that stuff. Yeah, he's a good. He's been around. He's got like 10 million subscribers. He's been around for like ever. And he talked very short about. They got one for the females. The females are wearing a thong, and they do the butt. They slap each other in the butt, but the same. I don't understand why people want to do that to each other. But people say, well, you got boxing. Yeah, that's, well, yeah, you do. That is true. You do have boxing. But, I don't know, man. I can't, I mean, it's a person, the way I say it though, a person could have the same argument. You know, if they're for the slapping, they can give you the same argument as they could give you, well, do you watch boxing? Yeah. Well, it's the same thing, basically. Two people in a ring, be male or female, well, male against male or female against female, beating the hell out of each other, you know? It's basically the same thing. I just think it was crazy. I mean, I heard of it. I'd just like to know where it started at, what country that started. I'm thinking Russia. But the king, his lord and master wants out of the bedroom. Come on, buddy. You have a nice nap? Comes out here like he's got something important to tell us. But you know, I could see it starting, and I don't have no idea, and this is not a factual statement. I can see something like that started in Russia. You know? Russians are crazy. Yeah, I watched a video one time of there's people that like to do the wrestling, like WWE or whatever WWE. It's WWE now. But they're amateurs. They're not even, they're just a bunch of guys that get together and they wrestle. But I think they really don't understand that wrestling is, as what was his name? Ted DiBiase one time. I think he was the $1 Million Man. One time said they kept on asking him. You know, he was doing an interview after he got out of wrestling. And he was talking about the drugs and everything like that were in it. You know, he basically got hooked on drugs and everything like that. Well, anyway. And the reporter asked, and you knew the reporter was going to ask him that because all reporters ask wrestlers the same question. Is wrestling fake or real? You know, and he basically said, he didn't say it, the only thing he said was, wrestling is sports entertainment. That's all he said. But, yeah, back to the Russians, they were Russians and they were wrestling. And I don't think they understand that wrestling is kind of staged, it's choreographed, and you got guys that have been practicing this stuff for very, very long, and they were actually hurting each other. They were actually hurting each other. I mean, there was one, I was like, oh my God, this is before YouTube got all, you know, censoring things, and you can't do this, you can't do that. This guy was laying down, I guess he got beat pretty bad, and the guy comes up and grabs a chair, puts his leg up on the chair, and then he jumps from the top ring or whatever it was, jumped and landed on that leg. He actually broke that leg. And it was real because you seen the leg go like this, you know, like buckle. And I was like, oh, and the guy just screams. And I was like, somebody forgot to tell him that all that stuff is staged, man. Like I said, this is before wrestling was, YouTube was censoring stuff and kind of saying, nah, you can't do this, you can't do that. Because I know back in the day they used to have Al-Qaeda put videos out on YouTube. And I think people started saying, what are you doing showing this stuff, you know? Like the beheadings. They didn't actually show the beheadings, you know, but, and some people would say, oh, that is so fake, that is so fake. They didn't actually do that. But then the next thing you see was the guy, the body laying on the ground with the head on top, you know, sitting on top of it. It's like, wow, you know. Crazy, crazy. Oh, I thought that was a cat crying. It's a baby crying. I thought it was a cat. It's just crazy stuff, man. Yeah, that's smacking. I was like, wow, how can anybody let that happen to themselves, you know? Like, they asked, I believe it was Mike Tyson, they asked him one time, what makes a good boxer? And he goes, a good boxer is a boxer that doesn't get hit very often. Which is true. You're always on the offense, never on the defense. That's it. He also said that. You're always on the offense, and never on the defense. Offense is when you're throwing the throws. The defense is where you're protecting yourself. You always try to be on the offense. Yeah. So, yeah, I just couldn't get over it. Smacking. And they had girls doing it. You know? Girls. Females. Yeah, good. But they also got, I don't think anything's wrong with it. They also got, I watched an MMA fighting one time. You know what MMA is? Basically freestyle. You got boxing and martial arts and street fighting. Anything you do, you throw it in there. And I don't think I don't watch MMA, you know, but I'm pretty sure they got rules, you know, just like, you know, boxing was. Not rules like boxing, but they got the rules. But one time I seen I read about a match. Like I said, I really don't watch MMA. And where they had it was a female, but it was, and I don't know the names, okay? They had a female, and then they had a trans female. And this trans female, they said she basically broke the female's skull. Now I don't know how you do that, but they said they beat her. Yeah, I'll call her she, just for respect, you know. She basically beat that girl so bad. But I don't understand why the referee let that happen. You know, like I said, I know nothing about MMA. I'm not gonna sit there and try to BS people off. I mean, I've seen it, you know. Me watching MMA is like I can't even say that anymore. I was going to say like a woman watching a football game, but you can't even say that anymore because I know females that know all about the game, professional football game. You know, but yeah, that trans beat the heck out of her, man. And I was like, wow. When I was reading it, I didn't watch it, but when I was reading it, it said they basically broke her head. And I'm trying to figure out how the heck do you break somebody's head? You know? I guess she cracked it open or something. I don't know. Yeah. But you want to know something, man? That's just society today, you know. I mean, boxers have been around for 100 years or more, you know. But it seems to me, spectators, if they don't see blood, they think it was a shitty match. Just like slap boxing. This guy's face was so swelled out. And I don't understand why, because there is a referee that watches them. I don't understand the referee didn't say, that's it, man, you had enough. Because you know there had to be damage there. I mean, that face was like, oh man. I felt for the guy, and he didn't want to quit. I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. If I got the very first slap, I would have been on the ground like a little baby. Because they put everything they got into that smack. It ain't like you smacking your kid on that when he was a toddler, smacking him on the butt. I'm giving it everything I got. But I know there's a rule where you know, where you can only smack in a, I mean, you can't smack the side of the head where the ear is. You got to smack down by the cheek. But, and them guys, man, they got huge hands. Huge hands. Big hands. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And they got females doing it. And they got females smacking each other's butts. Hey, they wouldn't have it if people didn't want to see it. Right? I just like, it's like I said, Penguins O. I think that's how it is. It's not an S at the end, it's a Z and then a big 0. But big O. Penguins O. He's got long hair, talks in a very monotone voice, but he's like I said, he's been doing it for a long time. He's got over 10 million subscribers. He's been doing it for a really long time. I think he started, well, he's probably in his 20s, and I think he started when he was like 15, 16 years old. When YouTube first came out. Whenever that was, I have no idea. And I'm pretty sure everybody's going to tell me. Yeah, that was crazy, man. I've seen him watching, I was like, wow. Me and Miles have slap matches once in a while. She beats my butt every time. She hits me once, and I'm on the ground crying like a... You know, right?
No.
Miles might be a tiny woman, but she's dynamite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all I gotta say, man. It's just my opinion. Huh? I'm stupid. That was so wrong on so many levels. My therapy, your name will come up many times when I go to my therapy. What are you looking at me like that for? I don't go to a therapist. Some people say I should, but I don't. Alright, man. I think that's enough. Y'all be good to yourself. Be good to each other. It was just a thought, man. I don't know why. Y'all be good to yourself. Peace out. And don't stress the smalls. Bye for now.
Yeah.